None of this ever intended to be how it's ended up being. We in 1995, we were out one night checking livestock, and my partner and I were talking, and he said, "Why don't we start a bull riding association? Because there's a lot of bull ridings in the area that have no finals, no organization to back it, nothing there." And I said, "I don't care." And he said, "Well, you've got the college degree, you be the president. I don't have the degree, I'll be the vice president." And I said, "I don't care." So the next day, I went to the computer and designed a logo, communicated with a stock contractor down in the South that kind of recommended a name, took $34, went to the printer, printed it up, and it just kind of took off from there. And it's kind of, there's times you kind of do the whole pinch yourself, because we were compiling a list this last year of where all we've been, from 30-some states, Canada, and the list of guys that have come, that we've had that have gone on, that are the guys that you see now mainstream, that are the PBR finals, the NFR, the IFR, that are all base core guys that are from us. It's just kind of overwhelming what it's actually accomplished.
Do you remember how many people were at your first event, spectator-wise?
No, I remember the event. The event was in Houston, Missouri, and it actually had a pretty big crowd, but then I remember it was a rainy day, and it was kind of explaining to everybody what we were doing and that it was a new thing, and convincing people to get on board. And for that first year was kind of the challenge, and then after that it just kind of took off.
Why do you think it's taken off like it has?
Honestly, a lot of it, a couple reasons, or multiple reasons. One is we strive to make sure that it's a professional event. We have always made sure that we want this to be the most professional. We bring in the stock that these guys can compete on, that they're going to be able to go to the next level, being the PBR, the NFR, PRCA, so that they hone their skills. It's kind of like Springfield Cardinals. That's our aspect. We're the AA or AAA of it. We get these guys ready to go on and become the superstars. And it's just, we've been honest. We carry integrity and try to make it the utmost in professionalism, and I think that's why it's carried on.
And you mentioned you're Missouri-based, but
yes,
you go everywhere.
Yeah. We're Missouri-based, and this is probably the closest, one of the closest events we have. There's times we're in North Carolina, Ruidoso, New Mexico, up by the Canadian line, as far as northern Wisconsin. We've had events in New York, Washington, all over the country. And
this Sedalia event, the back-to-back weekends, what is this, 23 years this time?
23 years, yeah. Has
it always been back-to-back weekends like it is now?
The first 2 years it was just bull riding, and then we saw what the town, the popularity of it, and we had the opportunity to bring it in. So that third year it became back-to-back bull riding and then rodeo. And
so it's 20 years later, and here we are,
Yeah,
amazing. Well, and it's also something that's really affordable, too. That's what I like. You're going to a professional thing, and it's something you can afford to take the kids and the family to.
Well, and that was one of our goals. You go to a lot of metropolitan areas, and it's crazy what you have to pay for a ticket to see an event like this.
And then you have to pay to park.
And then by the time you buy concessions, et cetera, and, we wanted to keep it to where you can take the whole family and you can enjoy it. And so we've just, and thank goodness to the sponsors, we've had such good support behind us in this town that they've made it to where we could keep it at that level and still take care of everything, make sure everything's paid for. I think it was about 2 years ago, I had a lady contact me, and she said the very first year we were here, her husband and their first date was the night of the bull riding, and they have come every year, and now they're bringing their teenage kids, and they've never missed a year. And that kind of says a lot for what we're looking at for a small. I come from a town of 1,300 people, so Sedalia is a big town to me. But for a rural town, it says a lot for this community. Year after year after year, these people, they've been true blue, faithful to the event. You think about it. To never miss a year for 20-some years, you're pretty loyal.
Well, and it's become part of your family.
Yeah.
It's become part of
it's their yearly
your traditions, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of them, we know them in the crowd. When the event's over, I go to the front office, and it takes me 15 or 20 minutes to get to the front office because I'm running into people that I've known for years that I've actually learned and come to have relationships with in this town that were just spectators. And now, you shake their hand, you hug them. How are you? How are the kids? Oh, this is your new grandchild. It's a really neat environment.
Not bad for an accidental thing.
Not bad for an accidental thing. I guess bass fishing didn't pan out.
So you say you started with no plan. What about now, all these years later? Is there more of a plan, or are you just kind of seeing where it goes?
Yeah, there's always a plan. I mean, you want to keep moving forward. Obviously, the goal is not. We're not here to try to say we want to go compete with what the PBR is doing at Sprint Center, et cetera, et cetera. We want to keep growing and giving these guys better opportunities and putting more money in their pocket and making them better athletes. And we want to see our numbers keep growing. But I really like where we're at in the pocket. I just want to keep us improving and growing in that pocket.
And probably grow the sport as well.
Absolutely.